What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA Saturday, December 1st. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, let's see who we have at the point guard position. I like Kyrie Irving from the Boston Celtics playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they're actually second best at defending opposing fantasy point guards. Kyrie Irving has scored 42, 58, and 38 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 42.7 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 32 minutes per game with a 29% usage rate. We also just added a new feature that lets you see the last 5 games versus this team, Minnesota Timberwolves. You have to hover over the hot and cold icon, or if you're on a bigger screen, you'll see it right here in the position optimizer. Kyrie Irving is averaging 45 fantasy points in the last 3 games versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that's over his average, and Kyrie Irving is $8,700 DraftKings salary. He's $300 more on FanDuel, projected at 50.7 fantasy points here tonight. That's almost 6 times value. He only played 27 minutes last night, so it's a back-to-back, but the minutes shouldn't be of any concern. I like Kyrie Irving versus the Minnesota Timberwolves here tonight. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all our DFS tools for NFL, and the tools for NBA are awesome. This is a great time to get in and try everything for 1 month. The tools are all about saving research time. You can see the last 3 games, the fantasy points per game, the targets they got per game, so you can see how involved they are in the offense, the rushes they got per game. Seeing all this stuff on one screen helps you save time and make better picks. Okay, let's take a look at the shooting guard position. I like Eric Gordon for the Houston Rockets playing the Chicago Bulls, who have the second worst defense overall, and they're about middle of the pack defending opposing shooting guards. Eric Gordon has scored 36, 27, and 45 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 25.6 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 33 minutes per game with a 24% usage rate. Eric Gordon is $6,100 DraftKings salary. He's $100 less on FanDuel. Great FanDuel price. He's projected at 24.1 fantasy points here tonight. He's going to need near 30 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. It's a back-to-back, but he only played 25 minutes last game, which means he's fresh and good to go. There's an implied total of 220 points in this game. I think Eric Gordon gets a big piece of that. His ownership is down now that Chris Paul is back, but he's still producing. I like Eric Gordon here versus the Chicago Bulls. Okay, everyone, it's time to announce the winner of this week's $100 comment contest. And the winner is Scott Lewis. Scott Lewis, you are the winner of this week's comment contest. Please reply to our comment to collect your prize. Let's give Scott some love in the comments, everyone. If you haven't won yet, don't get frustrated. Please continue to comment, support the channel, and you never know. Next week, it could be you. It could be you. Woo! Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, let's take a look at the small forward position. I like Tyreke Evans for the Indiana Pacers playing the Sacramento Kings, who are the 3rd worst defense overall, and they give up the 7th most fantasy points to opposing small forwards. Tyreke Evans has scored 26, 17, and 20 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 21 minutes per game with a 27% usage rate. Tyreke Evans is only $5,000 DraftKings salary, same price on FanDuel. I love that price on both sites. Projected at 31.4 fantasy points here today. That's over 6 times value. Tyreek Evans has scored 30 and 46 fantasy points in his last 2 games versus the Sacramento Kings, which I think is contributing to this high projected point total. There's 222.5 total implied points in this game, plenty of points to go around. I like Tyreek Evans versus the Sacramento Kings. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? I like Nemanja Bjelica for the Sacramento Kings playing the Indiana Pacers. Bjelica has scored 18, 19, and 13 fantasy points in his last 3 games, averaging 24.9 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 24 minutes per game with a 17% usage rate. His average fantasy points and his average minutes are down, which has pulled his salary way down. Belly is only $3,900 DraftKings salary. He's $600 more on FanDuel. I love that DraftKings price. He's projected at almost 20 fantasy points here tonight, which would be 5 times value. This guy's got 50-point upside. We haven't seen it in a long time, but you don't even need this guy's average. I love Belly here versus the Indiana Pacers. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Karl Anthony Towns from the Minnesota Timberwolves playing the Boston Celtics. Karl Anthony Towns has scored 44, 39, and 74 fantasy points in the last 3 games, averaging 44 fantasy points per game on the season and an average of 33 minutes per game with a 26% usage rate. So the Boston Celtics have a great defense. This isn't a great matchup for Karl Anthony Towns defense-wise, but looking at his game log versus Boston, he scored 36, 61, and 42 fantasy points in the last 3 games versus Boston. Cat is $9,200 DraftKings salary. He's $600 more on FanDuel, projected at 42.5 fantasy points here tonight. He'll need about 45 fantasy points to hit 5 times value. A somewhat risky pick at center here because you're spending up. You're really hoping you don't get a bum game from Towns, but he does seem to play very well versus Boston. He gets a ton of rebounds. They don't really have anyone who can match up with Cat very well. There's a 214.5 implied total in this game, which is not bad for a Boston game. I like Karl Anthony Towns versus the Boston Celtics here tonight. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for week 9. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.